Alright, sorry about that, guys. I hope most of you were able to find this stream. It's not a problem with my Wi-Fi, actually. The app on my phone just like crashed. It wouldn't respond, and then it just like forced quit itself. So I don't know. It might be a limitation of my phone's processor. I do not know. So I will look into that, and hopefully that doesn't happen again, but we'll be on our way here. And if you see anyone else on the old stream, which for some reason still thinks it's going, hopefully they see the message, or maybe direct them over here if anyone feels like being a hero. Okay. So yeah, we were just talking about, you can see me now, yep. Yeah, the ESU system, so big fan of that. Trying to check other questions. All right, now we should be good. All right, so I'm using an ESU cab control system for anyone who's interested. And let us get our train on the way. Looks like some people are back on this stream, so. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why the last 2 weeks, and I haven't run as long the last 2 weeks either. So I thought, well, maybe it's my phone getting hot or whatever, and it's just crapping out. So it's not YouTube's fault, but it might be my phone. But we've only been going for just about an hour, so I don't know. All right, thank you, Iowa Rail fan. Yeah, for the industries, it'd probably be best to have, I have a track out here, a drill track, where I'd probably park a switcher, and that would just sort of service the industries out here. I think a couple streams ago, or maybe it was last stream, I did have a dedicated local train come out and do that work. So yeah, I'm not going to switch it with the mainline power. So that would be someone else's job as an operator. But gotta bring you guys to the other side as you cross over into the light. And for the local power, just right now, it's whatever I have. I actually only have one second generation locomotive. Everything is 6-axle and fairly modern, really. So I need to get some older, like GP 38s, stuff like that. Alright, so I'll take you guys off here. Actually, the train's running really well with the DPUs, I must say. Or I guess it's just a single DPU. So I really could drop these grain cars at the spur itself, but I think it'd be kind of fun to put them in the interchange track just to create some extra work for another operator. So we are fouling the crossover right now, but we would have to do that more or less to add these helpers, which we're going to do in a second anyway. So we'll just pretend that we have track authority from the dispatcher. And cut these cars. And the reason, what the heck? Car grabbed the uncoupler. But the reason I added a DPU, for anyone who's curious, is that this scene right here is completely flat, but you'll see that our train kind of like goes out of the scene there and into the staging room. Once it goes back into the staging room, that's a pretty steep grade there, so we need the we need that DPU there, which you can't really see except for the walkway lights. That's holding the train back. So now I'm going to deconsist said DPU, and then we'll back these grain cars into our interchange track here, which I know freaks some people out because it just goes off the edge of the table there. Until other people start operating my layout frequently, if that ever happens, then I'm not gonna add anything because I trust myself and it's my equipment, so if I ruin it, that's my fault. But I've never had any accidents, so should be good for tonight, I think. Add a locomotive. So once again, here's the ESU system for anyone who's curious. We want to drop the DPU, so we're going to remove the -9 from our consist. It'll just stay put. And now we're going to drop these grain cars off. So you may have just heard our helper locomotives there just fired up. Gonna pull the slack out here. All right. Sorry, guys. All right, so now we're gonna tack on our helper power here, and we're gonna back them out of the pocket and then run them up. Sorry guys, I gotta program the consist really quick. We'll get going here in a second, but I need to tack on our helper power there, which I've already done. I need to change the consist. So. Same direction. 6349. It's the opposite. All right. So now it's time to head out of town. Now this isn't a super realistic consist, like we wouldn't have a DPU and then helpers behind some well cars, and it's not a super long train either, so it wouldn't be heavy, but we can pretend. Still need to program the DPU light on the city rail as well. That would be cool. Okay. Oh my God. Oh no, we're fine, we're fine. I thought in my mind, I was like, oh, I forgot to drop off the cars again. Now I'm just paranoid. I looked at the front of the train and I thought, oh, I left the... I'm definitely distracted today. Sorry about that. I still haven't seen that SD90 announcement. Those are pretty cool locomotives. I mean, I like the boxy cab on those. Although I'm a fan of pretty like closely spaced number boards and dimensional number boards. That's why I like these late production GE units, because they have kind of pinched together number boards. It creates a pretty mean looking brow. So the weird like widely spaced painted on number boards look kind of funny to me, but they also look like pretty mean machines. So I really like the Canadian Pacific H2s. So right now the slack is in right about here in our train, and the head end is, well, it's behind us. Yeah, the locomotives are super nice now. Yeah, someone asked if they're all powered. They are. And I just figured out, finally, honestly, after years of trying, and I've already spent a couple months this year trying to figure out like the best settings for back EMF and things like that. I just couldn't seem to match the ESU CVs. I could figure it out with the Tsunamis and the Digitrax decoders, but ESU kept tripping me up, so I just gave up. But I finally figured it out, and now they run super smooth. And it also makes it so that I actually have to put quite a bit more throttle into the train when we're heading upgrade. And when I'm going downgrade, I probably, to maintain the same speed I have here, I probably only need about half the throttle. So essentially the DCC decoder is doing a lot less trying to compensate for speed. which means the engineer, which would be me, has to be much more vigilant. Oh. All right, so now I'm going to cut the helper power. Oh. All right, so right now with the way the staging room is, that's about as far as I can pull a train in, but the helper power is at the top of the grade here in Belmont. So now I need to cut them off. Move from consist. Move from consist, save. And then all right. Ugh. I don't remember. Yeah, someone asked about foreign power. I have right now I have one Canadian National locomotive and a Norfolk Southern. I had a lot more foreign power a few years ago, but since I don't have that many locomotives, I wanted to sort of shift the balance towards more BNSF. But I do have some interesting, what are technically BNSF schemes, but not orange necessarily. So I do have a Cascade Green unit, as well as the City Rail here. Okay. Yeah, and actually there's quite a bit of KCS power that makes it out onto this subdivision in real life. So I do like KCS a lot. We did have a Kansas City Southern unit a little bit ago. I sold it over the holiday season, but I would love to get some back. So it's an awesome paint scheme. Yeah, and I saw some Ferromex a couple summers ago out near Needles, California. So certainly something you see on BNSF. I've also seen it out in Montana on Bozeman Pass. So I'm just going to run this back to the helper pocket, and then that's going to be it for us today, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed. I'll try to scroll back through the comments and answer anything I forgot about as well. But if you have anything else to add or ask, go ahead and do that now. And actually, as we pass this, you'll see I've started to work on this side's tunnel portal as well as the tunnel liner. So I have a pretty good looking tunnel liner in there. It still needs to be painted, and then the tunnel portal is custom made and matches prototype photos. So that's coming along nicely. And then I also I started to face these rock cuts down here. So once I get those painted, then I'll start some scenery so we cover up that ugly mixed white and brown look we got there and replace that with some dirt and grass. So things are coming along for sure. I plan on having more scenery for next week. I didn't really get any layout work done for this session, but I'm not so busy this coming week, so I should get some done for you guys next week. And also be on the lookout for layout update, as always. And I know I always say this, or at least I have the past few times, but I do have a video on the way about my DCC system. And then I also want to talk about the new Canadian National Tier 4 unit I got, because that'll be fun to sort of compare some of the details with earlier runs from Scale Trains. And then I also, excuse me, I gotta switch hands here. I also would like to talk about programming for consists and DPUs, because I think I finally figured out a pretty good mix. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just saw Carl's comment. Oops, sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, glad you got the email. I actually need to make an addendum to that already, because I think I sort of goofed up the length measurements, so the total car capacity I gave you isn't entirely correct. So let me give you the length measurements as well, because I think I sort of overestimated there, but it's still pretty close. I think the yard will fit about 100 cars, which seems like a lot, but obviously not every inch of the yard will be filled up with 7-inch long coal cars all the time. So that sounds like a lot. It's not necessarily. But yeah, I'll get you the extra notes that I forgot to put in the last email as well. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna leave our helper power right there, next to the cars that we dropped off on the way up. You see our train over here is still parked at the top of Belmont. And I think that was a pretty good session. So thank you to Carl for suggesting doing that. That's certainly something that I'll have to do once I start to do more operations and start developing a operating scheme. So that was certainly fun for me. Hopefully you enjoyed. sorry again for the weird stream issues. If you want to watch the beginning of this stream, you actually have to go to a separate video that I started a little bit ago. So those will be 2 separate uploads once they're finished. And as always, we'll be back again at 9 p.m. Eastern next Friday. We'll be doing this once again. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you next week.